Hello, my friends. Jacob is here once again. Happy whatever day it is to you. Coming to you from my virtual studio, my virtual set. I hope you approve. I hope you approve as I talk to you about the internet and, the state of it today. Which is clearly biased towards certain mindsets and certain ways of thinking. Now, my day started, I was a little bummed out. My video on Alex Jones and Joe Rogan, the one where the highly disputed NASA shirt, that video, which was doing very, very, very well, I woke up this morning to find out that it had been copywritten. Yeah, Joe Rogan and his team decided that they were going to, they don't have enough money, so they're going to take a portion of mine, even though it was clearly fair use. So I was really a little upset with Joe Rogan and his boys, considering I linked the show. It was fair use. I did, add to the quality of it, and I was just putting forth an idea that is, could this possibly be Alex Jones's mea culpa tour? Is this like the first step to get him back on the internet? And if it is there more to it? Is there a bigger picture that we're missing here? I said, why wear the NASA shirt, right? Now, I'm not saying that there's some big conspiracy and that they said, look, if you want to get back on the platform, you play ball and wear that NASA shirt. That was just like, if you're thinking outside of the box and you want to think about things in a conspiratorial sort of way, that could be a story. But I did talk to my buddy Jason about this, where I said, if he gets back on the platform, and we might want to consider that maybe this is some kind of a bigger deal. Maybe on the level where it seems like it's clearly censorship, and he should be allowed on the platform, and what was done to Alex Jones and is being done to a lot of other, as they say, conservative YouTubers, people like perhaps myself, is unfair, and maybe this is just kind of a further ploy to push censorship a little bit farther. Now, when I did that video, it was about over 7 months ago, where I had talked about Alex Jones possibly being cut from YouTube, and you can check out the thumbnail there. I had no idea that he was going to be banned from like every single platform at that point. And yet, subconsciously, subliminally, I kind of knew that he was smack dab in the middle of this censorship debate. And so he was. And so he appeared on Joe Rogan's podcast, which was just an epic interview, especially if you're in this truther community. Clearly, censorship played a role in taking Alex from his place of influence and cutting him off completely, which is why I thought that it was just beautiful and wonderful that Joe Rogan now just had Jack Dorsey and Tim Pool on. Where Tim Pool was like relentless. And I mean, just the interview I'm going to link it below. I'm not going to be using any clips this time, Joe, so you don't get any of my little pennies for your multi-millions. But it was so important. And I'd like to think that this is actually going to help, that this is going to do something. This is going to help people to finally be set free to speak their mind truthfully, in love, and in respect of others, but yet not be censored, not be shut down, not be deboosted. Yeah, that's right. That's going on right now too, because within this last week, Project Veritas just released something that really should open a lot of people's eyes. Facebook deboosting. And it was I'm going to link that show too, because you got to see it, because it's going on. Right? The stuff that we've talked about, it's now out there in the open. People are slowing down the growth and the life of tweets, of posts, of videos like mine, which is why every week we come on and we say, do us a favor, will you subscribe? Will you share? Will you tell your friends? Will you like? Will you comment? Will you do all of this? Because we got a lot of stuff working against us. And why do we have stuff working against us? Because the truth is going to set people free from the prison they're in. Which brings me to my next point. They clearly know this. They clearly know that there's going to come a time when people are going to get upset and people are going to demand some action be taken. Now these people, I don't find it strange at all that I do this video on Saudi Arabia and this app that they have about the women tribe. If you haven't seen the show, see it. It was yesterday's show. But it's the slowest growing video that I have had on a Tuesday ever. And it's unbelievable to me that this video, which is a very important video, very topical, that it's being buried. So you can't tell me that there isn't something that is lagging these videos' growth, right? Especially when you have Saudi Arabia and you have other countries and people of influence and importance that are spending billions of dollars and have invested billions of dollars in this entertainment industry that has become the internet of entertainment, of all things, of the four horsemen of the apocalypse: YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, all of them, all combined, working together to silence people who want to have a voice. Don't you think it would be a little coincidental if they just had some figurehead where they knock them off the platform, they make a big deal about it, then everybody gets up in an outroar, right? Then they bring them back online. I mean, it's just like the timing is just so coincidental. Like Joe Rogan just has Alex Jones on the show, right? And we're talking about it. In my video where I talk about that NASA shirt and I say, hey, you know, and then in the next video where I addressed it again, where I say, hey, maybe they're working to get Alex back on, right? And then Joe Rogan has this amazing interview, this amazing podcast that was uploaded today. You all got to check it out, where he has the YouTuber and political activist and reporter, journalist, and the Occupy movement live streamer himself, Tim Pool, who was brilliant and relentless, and you could tell that his heart's in it. And Joe was there too, and they didn't give any cheap questions. They didn't give him any softballs. They really held Jack Dorsey, who is the co-founder and CEO of Twitter, and his the head of law, Vidya. They let him have it. But I didn't find it strange at all, and I thought it was quite shocking that a lot of it had to do with the road to reinstatement of people like Alex Jones. So now you got to say to yourself, here you say he's wearing something that's just out of, he's wearing the NASA shirt. That's a little bit strange, right? It's like, because everything's symbolism and everything's deceit. So, I mean, is it so far-fetched to think that there could be like this? I think that on the level, this video, this YouTube interview that Joe Rogan, I think it was so incredibly important, and I think that his podcast is probably one of the most important podcasts going on. Not only that, I think his interview today was so important, and that I hope it goes viral so that people can pay attention. But I'm hoping that this isn't all part of some bigger plan. Right? Going to bring Alex Jones back on the show. Going to give him the platform again, right? But everybody's going to have to play by some rules. And then it's going to look like they're not censoring us, right? It's going to look like free speech is back given to our hands again. And yet, maybe it's all a big ploy. Maybe they knew it was going to happen anyway. So they had to take somebody, make them, that sacrificial lamb, and then, send them to outer darkness. And then all of a sudden, we're going to change things and then reinstate them. And yet nothing really changes. This Project Veritas video that I'm linked below as well, that is linked below. This video shows that there is systematic censorship going on. And it's something that people need to pay attention to. These companies, as Tim Pool said in his interview, brilliant interview, they're too big. They're too powerful, and their ideology just may not line up with everybody else's. And who gives them the right to say what is true, what is not true, what is acceptable, what is not acceptable? This is an important moment. And I'm hoping that this is one of those days where the truth starts to win out. I'm hoping that this is not some big psyop, because it's easy to think that it could be. I'm hoping that when Alex Jones returns, if he returns, I think he's going to, that with that return, we don't find a lot of other channels, smaller channels like myself, already off the platform because they have no voice. I hope that the truth can set people free today, and I hope that it isn't silenced anymore. But I also, I tell a lot of my friends too that I've met online, a lot of YouTubers as well, I say operate within their rules. As long as you operate within their rules, you're okay. The truth can still get out there. And hopefully, these rules are changing. For YouTube, it seems like they just have, actually, because now they're not going to just strike you right off the bat. They're going to give you a warning. I think that's a step in the right direction. But I think there's a lot of work to do. And I think that it is scary that you have these major organizations that are all leaning towards one side democratically, that they're the ones that are making the choices as to what should be shared, when it should be shared, and how it should be shared. Can you imagine Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all of them silencing any kind of voice that would open people's eyes to why they might want to vote for a different candidate? I'm just saying. In any event, I hope you do subscribe. I hope you share it around. I hope that this little background and all this stuff didn't throw you too much. I had to do it today. I couldn't get to the studio. I love each and every one of you, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching Jacob Israel. Please hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, and share this channel around. If these shows have helped you, help Jacob to reach more any way you can, and have the best day ever.